There are moments in life that don't just hurt, they change you. They break you in ways that you never thought possible and leave you standing in a version of life that you don't recognize. For me, that moment was losing my son, DeAndre. Losing a child isn't just a loss, it is a complete shift in how you experience the world, how you experience yourself, and how you even understand what it means to keep going. And if you're in this room, you already know that. For 6 years, I watched my beautiful boy slowly lose pieces of himself. He lost his hearing, his ability to eat, and his ability to breathe on his own. And he became quadriplegic at the age of 7. By the time he turned 11, he had gone through over 11 brain surgeries, each one carrying hope and fear, and the quiet question in the back of my mind, how much more can his little body take? Our lives became hospital rooms, waiting areas, medical updates, and learning how to live in between the moments of uncertainty. And then came the decisions, the kind of decisions that no parent should ever have to make. Do we try again? Do we push forward? Or do we let him rest? How do you measure hope against suffering? How do you choose when every option feels like heartbreak? There is no guide for that. There is no way to walk through that without it changing you. And then there's hospice. I never imagined that word would be a part of our story, but it was. And somehow, in the most painful season of my life, there was also a kind of quiet beauty. Hospice taught me that love doesn't end when the healing stops. That even when you can't save your child, you can still show up for them. And I want to say something that lives very deeply in my heart. Because I know when people looked at my son, they may have seen a little boy who was dying, but I didn't see that. I saw a little boy who was living. I saw him cheering as his best friend, AJ, tried to unlock the next level on his favorite video game, celebrating every win as if it was his own. I saw him singing along to his favorite songs, eyes closed, belting out every word, even with a tracheotomy, even connected to a ventilator, still finding his voice and still finding joy. I saw him look at a slice of pizza, light up and say, "Mamma mia," with the biggest smile, like it was the best thing he had ever seen. And I saw him in the middle of a dance floor, spinning in his wheelchair, eyes full of joy, winning the dance battle and saying, "Take that." He had spunk, real spunk. He was a whole preteen, the kind that would call different family members before a visit and ask each one of us separately to bring him cake pops, donuts, and we would all show up confused, holding boxes of the same treats, only to realize that we all got played. And he would just sit there and grin, like, "Yeah, I did that." And if you didn't go along with his request, he had a solution for that too. He would look over and tell his Alexa to hang up on you. That was Dre. He was brilliant, he was funny, full of personality, completely himself. And something else that meant a lot to me is that DeAndre had a best friend, a real friend, who walked with him through his journey. And when I think about that, I think about how lucky DeAndre was to have sleepovers, to laugh, and to just be a boy. To experience the kind of friendship, the kind of love that is very rare. But it's real, and DeAndre knew it. I saw joy and strength, a spirit that refused to be defined by what his body could no longer do. Even as his world became smaller, his presence became bigger. And as his mother, I had the privilege of witnessing that. And for those of us who are parents, caregivers, advocates, we don't just carry the memory of our children, we carry their stories. We carry the way they laughed, the way they fought, the way they loved, the way they showed up in this world, even in the hardest conditions. And sometimes we share those stories out loud, and sometimes we can't. Sometimes the words won't come. But even then, we are still carrying them in the way that we look at after our other family members, in the way that we show compassion, in the way that we move through the world, forever changed. They live on through us, through every interaction, every moment of understanding, every quiet act of love that no one else sees. So even if you feel like you don't have the strength to speak, please know you are still honoring them. You are still carrying their light. After Dre passed, I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel inspired. I felt lost. I felt broken. I felt like I was standing in a life that I didn't ask for and I did not know how to live in. And maybe some of you feel that way too. But somewhere in the middle of that grief, I realized something. My son's life didn't come to an end. It lives in me, in the way that I love, the way that I see people, and in the way that I show up even on the days when it's hard to breathe. I used to think purpose meant moving on, but I've learned that it doesn't. It means carrying them with you. It means allowing their life, their impact, their love to continue through yours. So if you're sitting here today wondering how you're supposed to keep going, you don't have to have the answer. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to turn this into anything. You just have to take it one breath at a time. And when you can, let their love guide you. Let their life mean something through you in whatever way feels right and true and gentle for you. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the team at University of Michigan CS Mott Children's Hospital. They didn't just care for my son, they cared for us. They showed up tirelessly, not just with medicine, but with compassion, with presence, with heart. They shared in our hardest days, and they helped create moments of light in the middle of so much uncertainty. And through it all, there was also something else that gave Dre a different kind of life. Technology, supportive devices, communication tools, advancements that allowed him to engage with the world in a way that may not have been possible otherwise. It enhanced his quality of life in ways I can't fully put into words. I stand here today not as someone who has moved past this, but as a mother who is still carrying her child with love, with pain, and with a heart that has been forever changed. DeAndre, I carry you with me always.